This is probably our most requested video. Being that we run a network of websites, we have to produce high quality content, but produce it quickly. And so I told Ricky that we were going to be filming this video today, but I didn't tell him some of the details. I left a little note on his doorstep this morning.
Not exactly sure why he asked me to video this, but here we go. Great. Meet me at GPS coordinates. Well, we'll be off. Eddie's climbing the mountain, take the dirt bike.
You made it!
I made it!
Alright, you're probably wondering why I've brought you on this wild goose chase. We needed to be in the ambiance of the outdoors because you, for the next 60 minutes, need to write a blog post on the keywords right here. Why do four-wheelers backfire? Do you know anything about four-wheelers? I didn't think so.
Not much, no.
So we're going to show that you can do this in 60 minutes, and while you're typing, I'm going to show these fine people how we are using our time efficiently to produce quality content. Your time starts now. The first way to save a ton of time when you're writing blog posts and to prevent writer's block is to keep a hit list of articles. Just spend one day, a few hours, getting your keywords that you find using our Google alphabet soup method that we always use, and put them in a Google Doc. Then anytime you want to write, just go to your hit list and grab your headline already complete. 7 tips for riding an ATV safely, or 6 ways to make your ATV start more smoothly, whatever. We grab our headline and just copy and paste it into a blog post. That way when you sit down, there's no thinking, you're ready to go. The next step is to write the first sentence and the answer paragraph, but you may not know how to do that unless you first do a little bit of research. Ricky, as he mentioned, didn't know why four-wheelers backfire, and I would have no idea either. The way to cut your research time in half is to not come off as an expert. Instead, present yourself as the person's neighbor, just a friend who has a similar problem. If Ricky writes this blog post from an expert's point of view, then you have to spend time proving yourself and why you know. You want data and statistics to prove your points. But if instead you're just the friend, then you can just do some research, quickly find an answer, usually that's spread across forum posts and YouTube videos that you may spend 10 to 15 minutes researching to find. But because we're writing on such a niche topic, it shouldn't take long to do the research. If you're writing on something very broad, like a pillar post, 3,500 words, then this is going to take a longer amount of time. But this is a response post. Response posts are 1,500 words long and directly answer a niche question that isn't answered elsewhere online. If you're not sure the difference between response, staple, and pillar posts and why we do that to rank better on Google, you gotta check out this video that we've done. The next step is to write your first sentence and your answer paragraph. So Ricky, have you already finished your first sentence?
I have indeed.
All right, let's hear it.
I'm sitting here at an ATV and dirt bike track and started thinking, why is it that four-wheelers backfire?
Okay, good. So you use the keyword, and you've kind of developed a little bit of a connection with the reader. You know, say, hey, I'm here. I, a human being, I'm sitting here writing this for you. And I find that that's usually the best way to do it, is because this is probably going to be your description in a Google search result. Unless you're actively entering in something different in an SEO plugin, which I think is kind of a waste of time because you can already just make the first sentence of your blog post something that works well as a description. So I think that's a great first sentence, and then you'll have your answer paragraph. The answer paragraph is about 3 to 4 sentences long. And this is usually bolded, and it just is a quick summary like this is the answer. The reason that we do this is because we win snippets this way. So many of our blog posts get a snippet on Google because of this technique. It's killer, and nobody else is talking about this in blogging. A bolded second paragraph that directly answers the question. So have you written your answer paragraph yet?
I have as well.
Let's hear it.
One of the most nerve-wracking sounds I hear when riding a four-wheeler is a backfire. So I did a little research. Four-wheelers usually backfire because of a short, sudden moment where the engine's running too rich or too lean. That means it's either getting more fuel than it needs for the amount of air it takes in, or else not enough. Let's look into what that means and what you need to do about it.
Perfect. That's a perfect answer paragraph. He's getting cocky.
I'm liking this one.
It's a perfect answer paragraph. I like that you said, I did some research, and you said, you know, I've wondered this. Like, you're not coming off as the mechanic who has all the answers. You're instead coming off as somebody who's wondered the same thing and looked around the web to find the answer and then put it all together in a nice, neat package for them. We're still less than 20 minutes into this. And now Ricky's gonna put down his structure of subheadings that will further develop the topic. We almost never see blog posts that rank number one that are incredibly short. In fact, Backlinko did a study and they found that of number one search results on Google, that the average word count was 1,980 words. So a longer blog post, like, almost always is going to outperform a really short one. So we need to develop this a little bit more. Yes, we've given a direct answer, but they probably still have some lingering questions, and that's what these subheadings are there for. So you may have a subheading of, you know, examples of why a four-wheeler might backfire, or of course their next question after you tell them why it's backfiring is, how do I fix it? And so that would be another great subheadings. Have you already written your subheadings?
I have.
Let's hear them.
All right, I've got what is backfiring on a four-wheeler. So I'm going to give a short little.
Yeah, you're
what's
just
actually going
developing
on.
it more. Yeah.
Why does my four-wheeler backfire?
Okay.
When do four-wheelers backfire? So, like,
what situations cause it?
Does backfiring hurt my ATV? And how do I stop
Great
my
one.
four-wheeler from backfiring?
Okay, perfect. So you've really set up yourself for the rest of your 40 minutes of writing to make this easy. Because we did about 10 to 15 minutes of research. We already had our keyword research done in the beginning. Then he's just written one quick answer paragraph, an intro sentence, and 3 subheadings. That is not hard to do in a 20-minute period. And now that he's done that, he doesn't have to come up with 1,500 words now for his blog post. He's probably already written, maybe 400 words from doing just that intro. But now he has his subheadings. He has 4 or 5 subheadings. And now he doesn't have to write a 1,500 word blog post. What he's doing is he's writing 5 300-word blog posts. He has the subheadings already. Now he just has to fill in the data for each of these. Just explain each of the subheadings. It makes it so easy to write, and it totally prevents writer's block because it's just a short thing that you're writing. Also, it makes it much more pleasant for the reader to read through this. So it isn't like a dense textbook. It's quickly scannable to see where you want to get the information in the post. But it still has a lot of meat. So one of my favorite tips for just filling in these paragraphs now is to use speech to text. On a Mac, if you've set up your settings correctly, all you have to do is tap function, and then it pops up the boop, and you can just start talking. And I find that that's a much quicker way to write your blog post. So after you have the information, you can just start talking and your computer will hear what you say and write it down. Windows also has this capability, but the best one probably out there is Google Docs. Does a really good job of speech to text and getting everything correct. So you can just say it in there and then copy and paste it into your WordPress backend. So by doing that, it just makes it quick to get out information. You'll probably have to go through it again and clean things up where you didn't say things the best and stuff, but it's just nice to get your length out there in a few minutes, and then you're just doing polishing for the last 10 minutes. Now, after all the text is in, you'll obviously have to put at least one nice big image at the top. I like to do something full width at the top. You may also need 1 or 2 supporting images. Now again, this is a response post, 1,500 words, which we find works well for many things. A staple post or a pillar post may take longer. Sometimes for a pillar post, I'll spend 4 working days just pouring through research and finding everything I can and making a little video to get in there and just custom images for the post, and you'll go all out. But that's only for a post that's on a big keyword where you really need to be competitive. As long as you're finding nice niche quick answers that you can make in a blog post, you can make them very quickly. It'll take practice the first few times you do this, but if you get used to following this systematic approach, you can finish your blog post much more quickly.
Woo! I'm done.
All right, how many minutes?
54 minutes, 1,415 words.
Kaboom!